Wow. Hello. Alright. Okay. Ah! I'm nervous. I'm always like this. Hello, my current audience of 1, which is probably me. To my model debut part 2 thing. I know a bunch of VTubers sort of have a debut part 1, which is shorter. And they talk about themselves and everything, and then the part, and like it's sort of not, they talk about themselves a little bit, and then but they're sort of just showing off who they are, and then they actually go into detail, do a model reveal, etc. in the part 2. Obviously, I'm not a VTuber, so I won't be doing that. My part 1 was sort of just a soft launch thing. Reveal via the collab. This is more so I can show off the model and explain the process of how I made it, and if there's still time afterward, then I'll probably get some drawing done. So. Okay. Also, I hope the audio is better. I noticed while watching back the last stream that it was quite bad. Everybody was loud on my end. Unfortunately, I think that translated to everybody being very quiet on the viewer side, because I think I dropped my desktop audio too much. I hope that it's better now. Granted, I didn't do that good of a sound check, but if I were to do it right now, it would echo, and that would be bad. So I'm not going to do that. Anyway, let's probably jump into it. I have a little itinerary, so I might just pop that up. Let me scoot it over. It might not be visible because it's like white text, but my little itinerary. My little, hey, here's what we're gonna do. So, first off, I'm starting off on the toggles. So, I have this canvas open. This is for the next step, as you can see. So, let me see if I can do this. I'm gonna turn off the half body for a second. Okay, here I am in the void. Oh, wrong button. Actually, no, that's fine. We're gonna need to be here anyway at some point, but turn off. Okay. Let's go into the white void instead, because that one looks better at least. Okay. So, this is... Ooh. Never mind that. I just realized how zoomed out this looks. Let me fix that. I am still figuring... I think I need to edit my overlay. I think that's the issue. And I will move this over. No, not that. Okay, there's gonna be scuff, obviously. You should know this by now. There we go. Yay! Hi. I'm here now. So. Okay. For the actual model is larger than this. Pngtuber Plus had the latest release allows you to scale up and down the model. Thankfully, because I was not about to draw this thing on a 720 by 720 canvas. I draw on large canvases. I really need to, because I especially considering that I use a brush with a texture, and that texture gets crushed on smaller canvases. So, in reality, this model is this big, which means you can't see anything except for my chest, which isn't that good. So, I zoom it out to like 50 or 60% so that you can actually see me. Wow. Crazy, I know. I drew and rigged this model all by myself, and I will be talking through the process of how I did that because I'm quite proud of this little thing that I've made. So, let's run through all the toggles. The first one is, well, this is technically the first one. It's the default outfit, right? You've got the full thing. You couldn't see it earlier on the previous stream, but my lower half has these little, what are they called? Belt chains that actually move, that dangle. Yes, I'm so happy with that. And also has these coattails that move. The coattails are attached to the vest. So, sort of like a waistcoat vest situation thing, right? So, second toggle, obvious, it's no glasses. Third, it turns the tailcoat vest, pardon me, it turns the tailcoat vest into just a vest. Don't mind me, honestly. There we go. That'll probably be better. I'm still messing around with the mic settings. I bought a whole separate mic so that I could use this without it altering my audio, because I do think that using the other mic, the mic that I used most of last stream, may have affected the audio on the viewer end. I'm not sure though, because it doesn't seem to do it all the time, so I don't know. Anyway, I'm getting used to this mic. It'll be with us until I can get a better one. So, I don't think that's anytime soon. But I would like to say that it is temporary. Not that you're hearing out of it. I'm saying all of this. You're hearing out of the mic that I've always been using. The program only takes mics with less than 2 channels. Or I think it's 2 channels or less. Anything more than that, it does not register it. I don't know why. Godot just kind of is like that. And this program is built on Godot. I hope that can be fixed in the future. So. Anyway, back to the toggles. Wow, tangent. Third toggle is without the bow, right? The bow or the waistcoat. So that removes most of the red elements. And if you remove that, there's glasses. All these toggles have ones removing the glasses. Now this removes the vest waistcoat thing entirely and leaves everything else. I am especially happy with this one because you can see that the ruffles on my shirt move. I'm very happy with that. Once again, without glasses. And then we're back to the start. So, yay! All the toggles! Okay, what is next? Alright, let's talk about how I drew the model. Give me a moment, I will reappear in a second. Hi. Hello? Ah! Well, that's quite rude. Give me a second. Okay, I'm back. Maybe? Yes. Never mind. Wait. Why aren't you connecting to my microphone? Ah, there we go. Okay, I'm back. And let's talk about making the model. Maybe I should find a different song. I don't want everybody getting sick and tired of it. How about this one? There we go. I tried to find more new BGM to use. Okay. Here is the model in Clip Studio Paint. And well, you can't see. There are many layers on this thing. Many. Because Pngtuber Plus works more similar to a live 2D model than to like a video tube model, for example. So I had to cut everything. And by that, I mean, you know where you can see my neck? My torso is what I call the layer. Yeah. That's what that looks like. Oh, you're seeing every part of my body now. Not in a weird way. Don't make it weird. Don't make it weird. Anyway, I had to go through and do this to every single element. Oh, I'm faceless. Oh yeah, this is what the back of the hair looks like. I separated the hair into the longer sides. I called them long bits. So this one, and then the one on the other side, and also the bangs. I wanted to have the Ohoge move at first, but I figured it would be much better if I simply layered it like this. Besides, it kind of moves. It doesn't move independently like, for instance, the bow does, but it moves. So, this little bit right here, so you see I have a undercut. That's because the hair is black underneath, or naturally, and so that's what you see. The blue is dyed. It's meant to be dyed, right? So, every element. The ear is separated off at where the joint would be because I wanted the ears to move, which you can see when I move. Yay! The outfit is separated into its own folder. The hands are connected to it because they're connected to the arms. That just makes sense. I wanted the arms to both be able to move, though it made more sense in the end to have the arm on the hip not move too much, because that's a pretty static pose. But the other arm sort of swings when I talk, and I think that's fun. Actually, I can show it bouncing right now if I just go like that, right? I thought it would be fun to have the hand sort of swinging. I thought that would bring more life to the model, like how I have. Well, I'll go into that later. Anyway, I separated this a lot so that all the elements could move. Like, starting from the top, the collar, separate. Right. The bow, each part of the bow is separate. Each part moves independently except for the knot. The knot is the only thing that doesn't move. I mean, it moves a little, but like, I'll go into that later. It's not meant to move. It is animated though. So, every part from the cuffs, the hands. This hand actually has a back side, which I can show if I turn off the pants, but I'm not going to do that yet. The bottom of the arm and the top of it. This one actually has more. You can see here. For some of the elements, I just made them nubs and did the line art like this, so that in theory, if I did rig this part to go downward and had a backside to this hand so it would make sense, then it could swing in multiple directions. and it wouldn't look odd. The vest, however, is one piece. I could have had the lapels be separate, but I figured it would be fine if they stayed like the way they are. I didn't really need to rig them. Now, if I take off the vest, you can see the ruffles are separate because, as I mentioned, I wanted them to be rigged. I was sort of thinking of really bouncy Live 2D models, and the fact that the ruffles on those tend to move. Their like chests sort of expand and contract to show that they're breathing. That sort of thing. I love that sort of thing. That's why I tried to mimic it with my model and having the ruffles move and the bow be entirely separate, that sort of thing. I don't really watch VTubers too often, but I am subscribed to multiple of them. I do like watching VTubers. I much prefer watching the I much prefer watching, I don't know where I was going with that. I like watching VTubers. I don't watch them too often, mostly because I don't catch all their streams, but I do like watching them. I don't consider myself one, although I have applied to an agency before, but I do admire them and the work that they do, and I especially admire the artists that work on the models and stuff. Like, more than watching VTubers, I watch like those demos of how they make the models. Either how they make them or showing off the toggles and like how flowy and bouncy they've rigged the model or how somebody's drawn one, those sort of things. I like the behind the scenes stuff, but I do like watching VTubers too. They're entertaining, like any other streamer. Okay. Anyway, where was I? Talking about this thing. Okay. Oh, you can see the tails aren't connected to the vest. That's because it's like an art program. That's kind of normal. Let me talk about the little details, right? Because I can show off every single separate element, but you already are getting the idea, right? Starting from the top, right? These longer black extensions with the air vents, right? Those are spiky while the rest of the hair is curled. Either they're flat ironed or they're extensions. I don't really know. I drew it, yes, but I'm not entirely certain. I'm leaning more on them being extensions though because of the fact that they're different. They are separate from the air vent and the bangs. The underside of the bangs is actually drawn, the entire hairline, but the bangs themselves aren't. They're just the blue parts, so that when they move, you can still see the hairline, and it's not altered. I think that adds a little bit of realism to it. But let's say I turn off the bangs, right? What have you got here? You've got chunky eyebrows. We've got these round glasses. We've got a bridge piercing. I've been really wanting more piercings lately. I don't know. I've been thinking it over for months. Now, IRL, I think I would like a piercing or more than one. So, in addition to the stretched ears, we have a bridge piercing and we have 2 lip piercings. And that adds something of interest when the mouth is closed. Being quiet so you can see the mouth being closed. The lower lash line is also red. That brings the red from the other elements of the outfit, the underside of the tailcoat and the bow, into the face. I think it balances it out quite nicely. It also kind of brings to mind one of the influences for the design, which was Visual K. You'll see Visual K makeup, there's a lot of red underneath the eyes. So, obviously you can tell that this is gothic, right? Not just any sort of gothic though. I was leaning more towards OG and elegant gothic aristocrat, or EGA fashion, also known as EGL for elegant gothic lady or lord. I suppose it's interchangeable, but I've only seen EGL refer to lady, so I refer to it as EGA. So that's sort of the idea. That's why there's more ornate pieces like this one. I was testing out some brushes too. The pattern on the vest is actually a brush that I downloaded. The buttons, I imagine these are French cuffs with I don't remember what it's called, but you know, the buttons that go through the French cuffs that match the rest of the outfit, right? I have a vest set that comes with such, except those match the vest pattern. These match the buttons on the vest, which are sort of little insignia. It's supposed to be the moon and then covering the sun, and then those are supposed to be the sun's rays. I will say, when it comes to drawing this model, one thing I do wish I did, or would try next time, is having the chain be segmented, because these chains are just drawn like that, right? The cross is not connected, but the chains are kind of just drawn like that. If I want it to look as fluid as a Live 2D model, for instance, I would separate them. It would be tedious to do it to every single little thing. I would probably segment it into 3 spots, or 4, depending on what's called on, and have that be done, as well as having an underside or backside that would connect to this point, so that when it moves, you know, it looks good. And that would allow it for a more fluid movement. I did at least figure out how to give it the illusion that it was swinging. So that is that process. I can see if I can pull up the time lapse as well. I don't know if that popped up. No, I didn't. Allow me a moment, I am getting the time lapse. If it wants to be gotten. Well, this is probably something I should have prepped beforehand. Anyway. That's that. This is only line art and flat coloring and with minimal shading. The minimal being on the face, mostly. Like entirely on the face. It's entirely on the face. Because I did make this... I made this model in 3 days. I sketched it, I did the line art, I did the colors. Those were the first 2 days. The last day was the rigging. I did not need to speedrun this. It just so happened that I did, and it worked. And I had a lot of fun drawing that. That's probably the only reason why I got it done so fast. It's because I needed it done by a deadline, and I had a lot of fun making this. I really do want to make more in the future, and we will get back to that later, on a later note. Anyway, what were the other points? The other point was to start talking about the rigging. I should probably... Actually, I'm going to disappear so that I can show off the rigging in question. So, that was not the button I pressed. There we go. And I'm going to disappear once again. Oh, I should have done it before. There we go. I'm here again. Except now we're in the rigging part of it. So, you'll see that the features on the face look like they're overlapping. That's how you can tell what's set for talking and open eyes and closed eyes and open mouth and closed mouth, those sort of things. So, however, if it's on a toggle, then it'll actually disappear. So, this program is very, I don't want to say it's easy to use, but I read the tutorial and I watched a few in preparation, but all you really need is the written one, in my opinion, and you'll get it. The written one does say on the document to link the parts before you move their origin points or rotation points. I found it easier to do I did it that way, and then I ended up accidentally moving things around. Not fun. I ended up resetting and going with moving the rotation or origin points for each joint first, and then moving the, linking for movement. What I mean when I say origin or rotation point. It's more visible here. You'll see on this joint, there's this little cross. That is the rotation joint. It's set here too, and here. And my vest is set towards the waist because my shirt top is also set for the waist, and the pants are set right next to it. In the case that I decided that they would rotate, that's where they would rotate from. Every single one has one of these. Oh, I didn't show, but this there's two overlapping elements for this arm so that it moves, as well as the underside for the hand, which is also rigged to move. If I just press the hotkey several times, you can see it going. The tailcoat also moves, as you can see. I think it moves a little bit. If I had known beforehand how much it would have lifted, I might have drawn it longer and extended the canvas. I did not know, but it's not really that much of an issue. I can just place the model above the knees and everything will be fine. And I did intend on only having it show above the knees anyway. I simply ended up drawing the knees out of my own wish to do so. So, for instance, let me put on the head, right? Can you see? No, you can't. Let me move the display. Alright, look at that. I'm off center. That's okay. This little rotating thingy over here, that is my sprite. Because my model is so big, double the size of the canvas, I guess the default size, they look really small. The smaller elements, like this, or you have to do like a clicking, yeah. That looks tiny. That's because I drew this model so big. But anyway, where was I? Outlined right now is the head or the face. You can have animated like actual animations, animated sprites. I don't have any of those on my model. I am interested in testing those out for future models if I make any. Drag is sort of the lag. I don't have that on the face. I have that on some other elements. Squash is sort of an animation feature. It animates it in the sort that, well, something you learn in animation is how to squash things, right? If you've ever seen like an animation demo or like a video on how to animate, they have a ball and they have like a sack, like a flour sack, right? The flour sack, I think, is supposed to show weight and movement. The ball is how you practice squash and squishing. So if I were to increase this, yeah, so let's not do that, right? But you see what it does. Just a very subtle thing. I also have a rotational drag because I wanted my head to sort of tilt up when I moved, right? Because when somebody's talking, they might be looking down when they're not talking, but then when they're talking, up, and they look up, right? A little bit at least. I have squash on almost every single element on here. I say almost. The legs, the chest, and like features that don't move much don't have squash. The vest does have a little bit of squash though, so that it bounces a little every time I move. Oh, you can also see the chain more in action here. Like that, I used squash in a combination of rotational drag and actual drag to make it look like it actually is moving. And because there's rotational drag on the charm, it also sways when I'm not talking, or if I've been talking, you know, it sways when it's not bouncing. And I like that. You'll also notice very slightly that my model is bobbing up and down very slowly. That is my way of giving the illusion of breathing, or standing idly. I think it adds an extra movement. See? The hand and the arm move, the bow slightly jostles, the charm moves, so does the teal coat, everything slightly moves, like even the hair, right? It's subtle. It looks like you're breathing. Or I'm breathing. Every single thing on here, though, has some sort of element on it. Even the glasses, they have a little something so that they move. The only thing that doesn't is the other thing that doesn't is my facial features. If I drew the eyes separately, I know that I could have added a squash effect, which would have made them look like they blink, or they're like imitated the way that people animate blinking, right? Where the eyes get wide and then they shrink a little. I could have done that. I didn't know that then because I hadn't animated anything or rigged anything before in this, but I do know that now. I wanted to talk about the ruffles. The ruffles center of rotation is set down here. That's because I didn't want them extending further than that. There's no underside to them, for one. And for the other, if I had the rotation up here by the collar, then it would extend and it would disconnect from the shirt. And that's not something I wanted. So, it also moves the squash effect. The squash effect starts further towards the bottom, farthest point away from the rotation. So, the rotation point, the origin point, which means that it starts up here and it happens more towards the top of the chest or the middle of the chest. That's more realistic anyway, isn't it? Oh, I should also say that this tiny little thing rotating over here, that is the element that each sprite is linked to. Because each of the sprites are linked to each other in order for them to move. The pants are linked to the shirt, which is linked to the torso, and the head is linked to the torso. The ears are linked to the head, and the hair is linked to the head, and the bow is linked to the collar, which is linked to the torso, which is linked... Well, wait, I already said that. You get the point. That's the idea, right? Each little thing that moves is connected to something. Give me a minute. Coughing. My throat wasn't feeling that good earlier. I had some tea to help with that. And I have water. I'm trying to make sure I drink the water consistently. So that, you know, I don't sound funny and also I don't develop something bad in my throat. Anyway. What's something else interesting I can show? What about the way that the eyes work? Let me... Eyes open. I have closed eyes as well for blinking. The eyes open. These, the ones looking at you directly. I'm talking to you. There's settings for having any element appear or disappear when the mouth is open or closed, or when the eyes are open or closed. There's also for having it be not affected. So for me, only the face is affected. The eyes, when inactive or when I'm not speaking, look off to the side, you know, at typically where the action would be. Because I'm usually put on, I say I'm usually, there's only been one stream where this model has been used aside from this one. The model would be put on the right side, so it looks towards the left, right? That's why. There's also mouth closed and mouth open. Some people draw different frames of the mouth so that it is animated and mimics talking, a talking motion more than just, you know, staying open. This is more like a typical Pngtuber would do. I hadn't made a Pngtuber model before this, so I went with what any Pngtuber would do. Once again though, might be fun to mess around and try to have an animated mouth. That might be fun. That might be cool. There's a lot of elements on here. But you get the idea. I think I covered rinking to move and the animation effects, because I explained what squash is and everything. Over here, this sort of is how it rotates. I think it's more... What's something I limited rotation on? There. That hand is limited in rotation. So it rotates... Well... The rotation, I think, also affects... No, it doesn't. This hair is a much better example. The rotation is limited so that it doesn't go too far one way or too far the other, which would be more visible if it moved more, but it doesn't. It has a sort of slow movement. But if I were to, I don't know, increase this rotational drag like that, then you see. It goes all the way up there, right? But then it stops. Otherwise, it would have made a full rotation, and I kind of don't want my little hair extensions falling off my freaking head. So, that's what we've got. Let me set to the usual. I made these different ones sort of, I don't know, to switch things up. You know, maybe I want to be more casual, right? This would be more casual, right? However, this, in my eyes, would be more formal. This is sort of the normal outfit. Default, if you will. Now. Oh, I showed the whole thing. Oops. Joke model reveal. That is correct. I did, in fact, make joke models. As I said, I was having a lot of fun making this. So I made joke models. I think it might be more fun if I just swapped from here and showed them on the side of the screen. So I'm gonna do that. Give me a moment. Ah! Give me another moment. Okay. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Okay. I haven't tested how this looks on stream yet, so. Oh my god. Come on. Connect. Yep. This is set up. Okay, so this one's more set up how a typical Pngtuber model is: static, no animation, mouth opens and closes, bounces. That's the deal, right? Yeah. So. I can become Karamatsu. Look at him blinking. Oh my god. So in theory I could do this at any image. And I did. Okay, this one more so makes me think, okay, I could draw, for instance, I draw Danganronpa sprites. I do commissions for Danganronpa sprites. I could draw a Danganronpa sprite with each part cut in the way that I am for a model, and I could rig it, and I could have a moving Danganronpa sprite. I could have it be simple, or I could have it moving sort of like my usual model, right? So. This is more of a funny, silly test. And now... my god. So, you know I said I could do this to any image? I wasn't kidding. My friend said to do one with a fish. I will say I did not illustrate this fish, or it is a stock photo of a fish. It's a stock photo of, no! Why did it disappear? Pngtuber Plus did not want me to reveal the tuna. The tuna model. Anyway, don't be shocked if I make a silly model for use on some sort of game. Wait, I have to set up my mic again. Okay. Okay, yeah. Come on. Appear before us. Tuna. Tuna fish. There we go. It's massive. Oh my god. Okay. Or oh my cod, perhaps, would be more appropriate. Anyway, I'm gonna stream like this for now. I'm gonna be a tuna fish with a googly eye. What if I were swimming? What if you saw this swimming in the ocean googly-eyed tuna fish? Ignore the fact that it's probably a dead fish. So the other model was more showing off how, like, a typical model would be made, right? This one is silly, and I used it as the opportunity to test out animation, in the sense that it is swaying and bobbing on its own. This I did with the rotational, well, there's rotational drag. That sort of kicks in every time that I speak. But there's a squash, which is how it looks like it's sort of swimming, I guess. And there's also an X and Y movement, like a sort of idle movement. That's how I have my model look like. They're breathing, and that's how I have this fish look like it's swimming. God, this model is so silly. What if I just talk to you guys like this? What if I became a tuna streamer? I don't even like tuna. I don't like eating tuna, I should say. I'm fairly neutral in viewpoint to the entire tuna species and subsects. Oh, this is so silly. Okay, I'm gonna be back to normal now. Give me a moment. Actually, wait. If I have different... Yeah! Okay. Here's something I can show. Actually. Look at this. Right? My model's moving completely different now, right? That's because this is the save from before I rigged the model entirely. So this is a static average Pngtuber sort of version of the model. Interesting, isn't it? And now this. I don't think anything is rigged on this either. However, this is the one where everything is actually rigged and connected. Not rigged, linked together and connected. As opposed to... It does look a little funny when it loads in. But yeah, this is the actual one. Right? With all the toggles and everything. Maybe I take off the glasses for the rest of the stream? That could be interesting. Maybe I'll keep them on. I don't know. But yeah. That's all of that. Okay. Let me scale myself correctly. Can you imagine? I took up all the time to make sure that this would be set up correctly, and then I went and I moved it around to show off a tuna fish. Also, sorry that my head's covering the chat. I mean, if there was actually a chat that was going, because if there was, then like all the chat would be up at the top anyway. I was having some water. Okay. Yay! Entire model reveal done in under an hour. 4 minutes shy of it, actually. So, now that we've got the entire itinerary out of the way, we won't be needing it anymore. I had some ideas for drawing. I don't entirely know what to draw, though. You know what's another thing I would like? Aside from, you know, starting soon screen and like those sort of things. That's something I'm gonna draw, actually. I'm gonna draw it on stream. We're gonna make my starting soon screen on stream. Because I know everybody loves looping GIF of Otomachi dancing. But I am not looping GIF of Otomachi dancing. Right. It might not be on theme entirely. Anyway, it would also just be cool. I like drawing. I'm literally an illustrator or going to school for illustration, right? Of course I'm gonna want to draw my own stuff. Let's talk about the starting soon screen, actually. Otomachi hi. I figured out how to green screen things. Chroma key, color key. There's a difference between the two, and it's incredibly annoying to figure that out, but I did it. Look at this thumbnail I made. Wow. I actually had a lot of fun making the thumbnail. It's a little silly, it's a little goofy. And I think I'm going, and for the time being, until I actually make a proper starting soon screen, I think I'm going to do these thumbnails. They also work for promo posts and also the thumbnails for the VODs. But I still like them. I think they're fun. And oh, I also messed around with animation and different filters, so I have the loading screen sort of has the dots are looping. I think it's fun. It's definitely a lot nicer than the one I've been working with previously. So, I hope anybody who saw it liked watching it. Ah, wrong thing. Okay, I turned myself off. Oh. Okay. Oh, other thing. This is sort of a housekeeping, I guess I'm going through. Other things. I need to update my Twitch alerts. That will happen eventually. I need to also see if I can find some sound effects for those, maybe make some graphics. Like, the entire thing needs to be updated, at least in my head. I think they need to be updated. The follower goal is no longer being displayed. That's not just because I am where the follower goal was. It's because I'm just not going to have one until, like, affiliate becomes a bigger opportunity, like a bigger chance of happening. I'm not going to have a follower goal. I think it adds a bit too much stress. Like, in my head, I like feel the pressure of the goal, and I like following out goals. But I want to do this more for fun than anything else. So removing any extra stress makes it more likely for me to stream or have fun doing it, right? That's the idea, at least. So there is no more follower goal. Thank you, GoFootBot. What else? I set it up for weekly streams on the schedule. It says potential weekly stream, right? Or no, it says weekly stream ? On the schedule with no specified category. I want to start streaming weekly on Wednesdays. Preferably at this time, you know, I can start streaming after dinner, go for a little bit, and then like go to bed at a reasonable time, right? So that's the plan. Next week, we'll see if I can do it. I am traveling once again. Oh, that's the other housekeeping thing I should talk about. Maybe I should do this while drawing. Does anybody want to watch me draw? Of course you do. That's why you're here. What am I gonna draw? I minimized my Clip Studio Paint. Give me a moment. Okay. Sorry about that. What do I draw? I do have commissions to work on. Maybe I'll pull those up. I am also still taking commissions. That's the other thing. I updated my sheets and my prices and everything. So I am taking those. Let me put in the display what I'm doing now. Oh, hello! Hi! Welcome to the stream, Genji the Fox. I just finished, I was going, for the first hour, I just finished, going through how I made my model and everything. I went through the different steps, and how I rigged it, and talked about the animation process and all of that. So, if you want to just... No, it's alright. If you want to just hang out, I was going to start talking about some housekeeping. I don't know if you've been here before. No, you're a first-time chatter. Welcome. I can go through it if you are interested, though I was going to talk about some housekeeping because I haven't streamed in 3 months, so I wanted to catch up. So, if that's more what you're looking for, that's what I'm going to be talking about. While doing commissions, I guess. I feel bad if there's nothing happening on the screen aside from me talking. So, don't mind the Danganronpa sprite. Well, maybe I could just put up a GIF. Maybe I'll just put on a color block. Maybe I will just talk at you. Who knows? I can move to... Never mind, I did not move. Please mind the scuff. There we go. Yay! Just here to watching my little... Alright. Well. Housekeeping. What about that? Oh, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Coffin Crew. So, for housekeeping, I hadn't streamed in 3 months. I believe it was April, maybe? Before I streamed on, I had the collab on Monday and revealed this model in the soft launch. Thanks. So, it was really funny. I started streaming, and I was streaming for about a month or two, and then finals came up, and I got really busy, and so I took a break for 2 weeks. And then I started streaming again, and I had 3 streams, and then I left for 3 months. I went to visit family. I traveled across the country for the first time. I live on the East Coast. I traveled to the West Coast, and I visited family that I haven't seen in years. and I stayed with them for about a month. And I had a lot of fun while I was there. I will say it was in the northern part of the US, on the west coast. So where I'm at, summer had already started. And when I went, it was, or I should say spring had already started. It was turning into summer. I live somewhere where it's hot. Ironic for a vampire, I know. I should not be in the sunlight at all. And where I went, it was just starting spring. And when I mean that, I mean it was cold. I wore a leather jacket the entire trip. But I had a blast. I got to see so many new places, spend time with so much family. My family over there has 5 pets, 4 cats and a dog. I've never been around that many cats. I have allergies. I survived because there's this thing called allergy medication, lifesaver. I can't believe they created it. But the cats were all pretty friendly. They were a little scared of me at first, but after staying there for a month, you'd imagine they would get used to me. So they did. I went in June, right? Before 4th of July, start of July, I stayed there. I have family in Ireland and Korea. I have family in another country too. I have family in Colombia and in the Dominican Republic. And I think I probably have family elsewhere. Off the top of my head, I can't recall. But I know I have family there. I haven't seen the ones in Colombia ever. I've never met them before. But my my family in the Dominican Republic, I haven't seen them since I was like a baby. You know, like a little baby bat. But I do hope I can go again. I did travel like across the country. I bet I can. Well, I can figure out how to travel to a different country. Granted, my Spanish isn't the best, but I bet we can work something out. I hope you can see your family, if you wish to, in the Ireland and Korea. Those are such interesting countries. Maybe it's because I'm used to, the Hispanic, Latino countries, but I don't know. Traveling the world would be interesting. I have friends in other countries that I would like to visit as well. Where was I going with this? Anyway, I stayed until a little after the 4th of July because you'd imagine plane tickets are crazy and it's not like I can just fly across the entire nation. But I had a good flight both trips. I actually ended up drawing my seatmate on one of my flights. She was a very nice lady. But I ended up doing a portrait of her just spontaneously. I would show it, but number one, it's traditional, and number two, I didn't ask if I could post it anywhere, so I don't want to just be showing this very nice woman's face. So I miss them. Well, my uncle married a wonderful Korean woman and moved out there at my Oh, see, that makes sense. I see. My family is my family immigrated from Colombia and the Dominican Republic, so that's why I have family there. And that's funny actually, because I have a relative who also married someone from Asia, right? And that relative is planning on moving back there as well. It'll be kind of sad when I can't see them anymore unless I travel. But yeah, I get that. What else? So I was gone because I was in an entirely different place then. I also took part in Art Fight this year. That's the other thing I did. Art Fight was throughout July. For the first half of July, I was really busy, you know, coming back after traveling and setting my stuff up. College applications and all. It is sad. I don't have the means to go and see them. Yeah, I really hope you can. You'll be in the position to see them soon then. I know, like, money and traveling are a bit hard nowadays to get a hold on and be able to do. But it's always nice to be able to go and see the family that you care about, or the people you care about in general. Where was I? Right. I took part in Art Fight for the first time. I've never done it before. No, it's okay. The other thing, I kind of missed talking to, like, the chat in streaming. I don't get to do it often because, well, I have 12 followers, thanks to that, and thanks to you for the new number. It's not like I have a very active chat, but one of my favorite things about streaming, and one thing I missed about it, is the fact that I can talk to people through it. And that's one of the reasons why I started streaming in the first place, because I'm a bit of a shut-in, by choice or not, and it's nice to have a way to socialize or interact with people, maybe help them feel less lonely, or at least give them something interesting to watch or take part in. That's one reason why I respect a lot of streamers. I got a 3 or 4. I haven't streamed in 2 years. 2 years? Wow. It is really hard to start growing things. A majority of my followers are probably just my friends who all followed me on like my first month. Most of them don't pop in because we all have lives, but yeah, it's definitely hard to get people organically. Good on you for starting or trying it at least, though. It definitely, like, I was so nervous. I'm nervous every time I start a stream. So, I think it's important the fact that you at least did it for a period and tried it out. Let me see if I can pull up my Art Fight pieces. I can show those all when I talk about it. What's Sunday? Oh! Oh, that's great. I'm very happy for you. I hope your family is well. I know it says it in my title, or not title, the tags, and also my description, my about. But I am non-binary. I specifically identify with the androgen title, which kind of says what it is on the tin. It's androgynous. So, a single parent trying your best. So much respect to you, and like, oh my god, props. I know being a single parent can be hard because I was raised by one. You have a lot on your shoulders, but I'm sure your kid will appreciate all that you put into raising. Alright, give me a moment. I am pulling up my Art Fight pieces. Warning for eye strain. Some of these are really bright. Yeah, Okay, I think that's all of them. I did 5. Where's the last one? Oh, no, wait. I did 4. I was going to do 5, and I ended up being too late for the last one. Really curious about Art Fight. I don't... Let me just... Okay. I don't know if you know what Art Fight is. But Art Fight is during the month of July, where... There we go. Let me move myself out of the way. It is a art event that is sort of themed like you're fighting each other. Every drawing that you make is an attack. And the number of points for the attack are about the amount of effort that you put in. Thank you. I will say none of these characters are mine because Art Fight is entirely about drawing OCs or other people's original characters. So, I want to order these in the order that I did them, actually. Oh, incorrect. No. Okay, this is the first one I did. It's based off of that meme that's been going around, where it's like, it's originally Dungeon Meshi, I think, Delicious in Dungeon, and it's sort of, what's his name? Leos and... I don't remember. Cabros, I think is his name. I haven't watched Dungeon Meshi, but the meme was funny, and so I asked permission to use it for my friend's characters. I'm very proud of this one. I really like how the colors and the side profiles came out. I can zoom in. I didn't do too much shading on the 3 of these for sake of time, because the event only lasts so long. So, here's the next one. This, the first one was sort of a bust headshot sort of way of how it was sorted like that. This one counts as a half body. This character, that is not an original character. That is a character from a show, which is kind of sort of allowed. He sort of acts as a prop, I guess, in the context of the artwork. Yes, they're kissing. I thought it would be cute. I tried so many different ways of drawing this. I was going to have it, at one point, I was going to make it look like it was displaying on an old TV, and then I realized that it's a portrait instead of a landscape piece, so that doesn't make sense. But I'm still happy with how it came out. They're very cute together. This was the 3rd one I did. This one actually has full rendering. Let me make the background black so you can see it properly. This is, well, all of these were sort of like friends or people that I know. Mutuals, they're called. I don't like using the term mutuals. Surprise face is wonderful. Yay, I'm glad. Those facial expressions were fun. I hadn't drawn people kissing before. I'd never drawn people like kissing, aside from like this one joke drawing I did. I'd never drawn people kissing before, so it was a bit of a challenge, but I'm glad that it came out alright. So, the snake should be okay. Thank you. I know some people are afraid of snakes, but this one's like a really cartoony one, so I think it should be fine. The snake is the pet of this OC, and these two are dating. So, they're both vampires. I was so happy to draw these two. I have been wanting to, like, for, like, you can bookmark characters on Art Fight. So all of these characters that I drew were all bookmarked. This is the only one I fully rendered and did all the shading and lighting for, and I'm really happy with how it came out. So, the lace and these roses were done with texture brushes, I will say. I'm not afraid to say they're like... Actually, the lace over here I think was a stock photo that was free to use. So, I did not draw those. I was not gonna do that. But I think that it came out well enough. Afraid of lightning, so I'm good. I want to be able to do this. To do art fight? Anybody can do it. Anybody can sign up to do it. It only takes place during the month of July. I don't know what team won. I'm just realizing that now. Oh, art in general. Thank you for the compliment. Well, similar to art fight, I believe anybody can do art. It's definitely, it's more skill than talent based than people say. So if somebody's practicing or they're just drawing what they want or painting or creating in any way, shape, or form what they want, then you're succeeding. And you'll get to whatever point you want to be in eventually. I mean, do food art-ish. Like culinary? Or cooking? Or like baking? Or do you draw food? This can mean a lot of things. Cook and bake. Those are both necessities and great to be able to do. Well, cooking more than baking is a necessity. But I've been trying to practice my cooking for the past 2 years. Branching out, trying different recipes. I can make, for instance, onigiri, rice balls. And I've also made a carbonara before. Cooking takes a lot of effort, though. Want some rice balls? Oh, mood. I ate dinner already, but I could go for some. I'm out of sushi rice, though. I need to get some more. That's something I would love to stream one day. When I've got, like, my own place and, like, a setup, and if anybody actually was interested, I would love to do, like, a cooking stream. I find it so fun. Cooking feels like a communal activity to me. Well, that's good to know. I also do like baking. I baked... My little brother's birthday was recently, and I baked some cookies for him, and I really hope that he likes them, because I haven't given them to him yet. I also baked brownies the week before. They were really good. Brownies are surprisingly easy to bake. But I think you can, like, there's art to be found in everything, to be fair. I'm sure your cookies will be wonderful. Thank you. They're the first time I baked cookies from scratch. So, I did try them, and they tasted alright, but I don't know if they're to his liking. What was I gonna say? I completely brain farted. How to make hard candy. Oh, that is interesting. I don't know how to make that either. That would be interesting, really. I wonder how you make it. Like, I know how you make, like, sugar rock candy. In the vague sense that I heard about it years ago and never tried it myself. And one time I accidentally made caramel, but that's different. I hope it goes well if you ever do try it out. Is my model lagging? No. Okay. Yeah. Okay. This is the last drawing I ended up doing for Art Fight. It's an eye strain. Maybe if I make a layer underneath and dim it. Yeah, that's a bit easier on the eyes, I'd imagine. I don't want anybody to, like, you know, hurt their eyes watching the stream or watching back on it. I didn't do too much with the colors. Granted, I did this like the final day of Art Fight and I finished it in like 4 hours or under 4 hours or something like that. Like, I was getting down to it. I wanted to finish it because my goal was 5 pieces and I only made 4. Yeah, alright, that's fair. So, hopefully the dimming it helped. The pose is inspired by the Vocaloid song, Donut Hole. It's by Hachi. Very good. It's like one of those classic songs that if somebody were like to make a playlist of Vocaloid songs or songs made with vocal synthesizers, they would put that on there. At least I would. I would hope everybody else would. But the song is sort of about, like, forgotten memories, especially forgetting a person in the past. And still having those emotions tied to them, even if you can't recall who they were. At least that's how I interpreted it. The lyrics are in Japanese, so any English translation is more so, like, is up to the translator's interpretation and how to see it. Okay, glad it's better. I thought it fit the character. If not referring to another person, then referring to themselves as a person. This isn't my character, so I'm not going to go all into the lore. I should say who each of these characters belong to. So this one belongs to... I'm going to give all their Tumblrs, because that's all that I know. This one belongs to Stargloom on Tumblr. This one belongs to... I believe it's Sam's Twilight Zone? Give me a moment. I will pull those up because I do not want to be showing things off without attributing. Yeah, Sam's Twilight Zone, no dashes. And this one is for Analog Seeker, like an analog clock, Seeker. While this one is for Kami Mint, Kami Mint. I don't want to show things off without explaining who they belong to. So, I think I'll leave it on this one for now. But yes, those are the artworks I made for Art Fight. That took up so much time, but I had so much fun doing it. I really hope that next year I can meet my goal of 5 artworks, 5 attacks. Because like I said, I actually planned 2 attacks. One of them I got both of them I got part way through. But for one, I ran out of time, and the other, I lost motivation, and I didn't really like where it was going. So I think I'm gonna save it and try to work on it another time. Not as an art fight thing, but sort of just like as a gift artwork, I guess. So, aside from art fight, I also worked on. I draw in my, well, I do commissions. Of course I'm gonna draw. But, I was working on my OCs, my own original characters, for a while. Like at the start of Art Fight, I made my own references for them. I guess I can show those off. Give them a moment to load in. That should be acceptable for Twitch, actually. I got worried for a moment, but none of them are topless, so they should be fine. I will just close out of that one though. These are my own characters. I'm working on making a comic with them, though recently I started developing a new project, so this one's more on the back burner. But I am working on a comic, and I hope eventually that I can at least publish or post like a comic. Tell me more. I see. So the title that I'm going for with it right now is called Cold Blood. It's a vampire comic. There's the little bios in these reference sheets give examples. These are the two main characters. This is the protagonist, and this is the deuteragonist, pardon me, which is secondary protagonist. It's just a fancy way of saying it. This character, Murray Bunker, the protagonist, she was human. She is now a vampire. You can see by the fangs. She's a huge vampire fangirl. She would read fanfiction. She loved things like Twilight. I don't know if my mic picked that up. I hope it didn't. Car just passed. But she was a fan of Twilight. She would be a fan of the Anne Rice, right? You heard the car. I'm sorry about that. I live near a busier street. So even though she is a nursing student at her college, like second or third year, I'd imagine. Second or third year. Her heart's not entirely in it though. She's doing it because her mother is a nurse and she likes her mother and looks up to her. So they thought it would be a good idea, and they like the idea of helping people, though they're much more interested in their fan fiction. Oh, living next to a train track. Oh my goodness. That must get really loud. So, Murray was attacked by a vampire in the middle of the night against her own will and turned, though it took, once she started turning, the vampire ended up coming to her and apologizing profusely, about it. And unfortunately, the vampire government, the courts, the royalty, have deemed it law that vampires are only supposed to be made with consent, and consent was not given because this guy did it out of bloodthirst, sort of uncontrollable, that he got to that point. He could have prevented it, but he did not, because he didn't think about it. It was entirely an accident, is what I'm saying. It was entirely an accident. And unfortunately, the royalty deem it that he and her must pair up. He's responsible for her transitioning to existing in this joint human-vampire world, because vampires are secret. So she's going to be a part of 2 different societies now, and he's responsible for helping her transition into that and get used to it. But also, royalty want these 2 to get married. Not a possible love story, because he's a gay man. See, it all leads to pointing to a love story, right? But he's a gay man with a boyfriend. Granted, that boyfriend, their relationship is not the best, but he's not interested at all. And the only choice, aside from marriage, is that she becomes like his thrall, which is a servant, and that's not good. That's not good at all. So, he's also, his family, this is what he looks like as a vampire. His family is part of the royalty, though they're lower ranking, which is the only reason why so much attention was put on this. Otherwise, they might have just let it go unnoticed. But because he's royalty, even tangentially, now the pressure is put on both of them. His human design is a stark contrast to his vampire form because he doesn't like his family. So, emo drag queen with unmedicated anxiety, turned Murray into a vampire while blood-starved. He's very sorry. Born into a conservative family of vampire nobility. And so he's wearing his family's colors, and they're sort of, this sign next to him that turns into, a mole. That's sort of a family mark. Years of expectations and acting, trying to fulfill what his family wanted him to be, led him to run away. And so now he's majoring in English at the same college that Murray is in. But his main thing is that he ran away, and he will continue to run away again, but he can't run away because this time... That's relatable. Yeah. He can't run away this time because it's not only his life in jeopardy, it's Murray's, because if the 2 of them don't agree to the royalty's decision, then they will die in a year. I should also say, when, this is more of a fun fact, I guess, but Arwen's age is, I should say his name, Arwen Eulenspiegel. His last name might be a mouthful. His age is 23 years old, which is about 115 years. That is because in my story, vampires age every 5 human years is the equivalent to 1 year aged as a vampire. And they can go on in sunlight, because I found it more convenient for the plot, and also didn't have a reason not to. So, he is actually 23 years old. He was born a vampire. That is his actual age. It's not like a weird age gap thing, though those do exist for humans that were turned vampires at a certain age. Anyway. Murray doesn't want to, the 2 of them don't want to get married. And, Murray doesn't want to have to deal with a marriage in the sense, they could have a lavender marriage in which they both marry just for the legalities. But if that were to happen, Murray would be probably living full-time in the vampire world, and she is trying to get her college degree. She's trying to become a nurse, even if she doesn't really care about it at the moment. She doesn't want anybody else running how her life is, because it's kind of the first time that she's free as an adult to do what she wants. Especially considering, she's already transitioned, she's trying to figure out what she wants to do with her life, and she doesn't want to end up being with a guy who doesn't, want to be with her. or the guy who turned her, you know, she still has some she still doesn't trust him for that. Here's her alternate outfit, by the way, so you're looking at something different. So the two of them have to end up fighting the court, fighting the royalty, in order for a chance to live the lives that they want to. It's sort of like this fighting the institution and dismantling it sort of deal, but told through a gothic story that has vampires, very complicated vampires. I have so much written down about the way that their world works. I just need to write the comic to go with it. How much will the comic be? I don't know yet. If I can't, I will definitely charge if I make it a graphic novel, like a physical one. Like if there's a physical copy, then it'll definitely cost money. I don't know yet how much, though. Until then, I'm planning on starting it off as a webcomic, though, because independent graphic novels are kind of hard to launch. But as a webcomic, it would be free. Sort of just hoping that, like, whatever website I put it on might pay me, and any sales would go to it. I'm interested. Oh, that's good. I am slowly growing a group of people who are interested in my story that is partially written. So, I made all these references so that I could put them up on my art fight, though. But it's useful to have them now that I can display them. I care about these characters a lot. I'd buy it. Well, that's good to know. Yay! Oh my goodness, we're almost at 2 hours. That's alright. Oh, like I said, I've been working on another story in the meantime. Something more of a... This is a long-term project in my mind, because I'd imagine this story would go on for several chapters. I have been working on a more of a short-term project in the meantime, while letting this one sit on the back burner. Though I don't have anything to show for it now. I am hoping that it will be done before the end of the year, though. I will say one thing, it's a game. So, there's that. Do I have another artwork I can maybe just have displaying? I've been doing other things in the meantime. Drawing other artwork. I have a comic in the works right now, like a single-page comic, as sort of a test or practice with composition, but also for fun. I might work on it on stream at some point. Here, I'll put this up. We can have like a circulating display of artwork. What else? I was going through my housekeeping. What else have I done in the past one? July, August. August is come and gone, and it's crazy. I've been testing out different art forms at the same time. I've been trying. Since October of last year, I have been teaching myself how to make music. I would love to be able to compose my own, like, stream background music. I think that would be awesome. I'm still a long ways off from it, but I would like to do it at some point. I do have multiple projects that I'm working on, though. So those might be fun to share once they're complete. Luna. Welcome to the stream. I finished talking of... How are you doing? I'm doing well. I'm having a good time. I hope everybody else is. I already went through the... Oh yeah, I'm glad. That's good. Well, you just arrived. I hope that you'd be having a good time. You're doing well. I'm just showing some of the artworks I've made recently while talking. I already went through how I made the model. That was the first hour of the stream. And for this second hour, I've sort of just been going through housekeeping, talking about where I've been, all that sort of thing. I should say, if anybody's interested in watching me or listening to me explain how I made this model, and talking through the process, then you guys can check the VOD. I have a VODs channel, and I will be re-uploading it, the VOD from Twitch onto there by the end of the stream, because I don't like the fact that VODs will just disappear. So, there's that, if anybody's interested. I'm honestly, if I'm being honest, what else have I been up to in the past month? Because Art Fight happened, I traveled, Art Fight happened. What else have I been doing? Job hunting. Job hunting. Trying to make money. And drawing, but also I've just been doing that. I've been seeing some friends, though, as well. I got to meet some friends in person and also just see some friends I haven't seen in a while. So I've been focusing on those sort of things as well. Along with commissions. I'm trying not to stress too much over the big things like finding a job in the meantime of, you know, going to college. I've been trying not to stress too much though. How much to get something made by you? There's, here, let me put the command. It's !commissions, I think? I might be wrong. I don't remember my own stream commands. Can I please view my own channel? That would be great. Why is Twitch being so slow? Yeah, !commissions. And that links to my website where I display the prices. I do illustrations in this style, my own style, as well as Danganronpa sprites. Danganronpa sprites are sort of a niche that I found that I fill, because I've been drawing them for going on 4 years now, I think. So, if you are interested, there's that. And my contacts are also there, so if you want to actually talk through something. What else? I guess something fun on the side. I don't think I've brought this up before on stream, but I sometimes make Sims custom content. I've only made like 3 things. Well, I've made more than 3 things, but I've made 3 sets that are actually out, right? And another thing I ended up doing was making one, like another thing. I can pull up the thing I made for it, the like image. But I made a shirt for my Sims game. I was just sort of messing around with the idea of like making some more stuff on stream, but I don't know Blender and I don't want to learn it, so I can really only do recolors or like tattoos and like stuff like that. But I sort of just make things for my own fun and enjoyment. When it comes to The Sims, it's not something I really do much. Oh yeah, that's something else I did. Oh yeah. I have a couple of drawings that I want to work on stream. I know I've done a couple of gaming streams before, but I think I want to focus more on streaming art. I'll do whatever I feel like, if I'm being honest, but I do want to focus more on working on artwork. Because it's a lot easier to draw and talk to chat than it is to game and talk to chat. At least for me, because I don't have 2 monitors. Definitely going to get something when you get paid. Oh! Well, don't get something if you can't, but I would definitely appreciate it. I mentioned that I've been working on a comic. I can pull up my works in progress, actually, and view them. I have multiple. It's a little much. That one's not too far into it, though. There's this one, which you can tell it's in progress. I'm in the middle of working on the line art. Technically, this is fan art of a Danganronpa character, but the character looks nothing like the way I draw him. So, but this is supposed to be the character eating a guava pastry and having the hair like do the Studio Ghibli poof upward when you're eating something that tastes really good or when you're excited. Yay, thank you. So, I thought it would be fun. I like guava pastries. I'm letting my favorite characters partake in the snacks and food that I like. I haven't worked on it in a week, maybe, or 2, because I lost the motivation to work on it. But I will finish it. I'll probably pull it out on stream and work on it, because streaming while working on art definitely gives me the motivation to keep doing it. I also have this comic. I think I have to zoom out for it to show properly because of the way that I've got my overlay set up. Yeah, now you can see the full of it. This is a comic, a 1-page comic of... Do you have Discord? I do have Discord. It is the same username that I use on Twitch. I should start a Discord server at some point, but I'm not going to do that yet. Maybe if I hit like 20 followers or 25. Some sort of milestone. But you can see that I blocked off the boxes and I've already put in the text. The only thing left is to actually start the line art. then I can do the colors and etc. etc. This is a comic about the character Two-Face, or Harvey Dent, the DC character. I have taken quite a liking to him over the past year. But this is more of like an emotional thing. There is like implied darker thoughts, but I thought it would be interesting to sort of talk through some of those internal struggles that the character deals with. And I'm sure other people have dealt with as well. And this... Can I turn off the line art? Yes. I forgot to... There we go. This is a character reference sheet I'm working on. There's no genitals showing. I can turn off the sensor, but I don't want to chance it. I don't want Twitch getting mad at me for showing, like, basically a doll body. So we're gonna look at this character's face instead. Maybe the face down here. I don't want to get in trouble. It's good so far. Thank you. This character isn't really attached to any story. This is, there's sort of this, I don't know what gender, butch, lesbian, sort of spiral avatar, spiral, like, not human, bends reality, but it is also, like, studies humanity, sort of thing. Has spirals as a main motif in the design. I'll show the tattoo on the back, as well as the eye. You know how I'm, like, skirting away from everything, and the hair. But yeah, that's another character. That's a character I've been working on. Oh, save it. I'll leave this one on. I've seen, like, you all can see my cursor while I'm drawing. I've seen some people have these, like, custom cursors, or, like, models that move in, like, along with and follow the cursor. Like, they look like pens or whatever with a hand attached. Those seem so cool. If I can figure out how to make or get one of those, I am definitely going to do that. Most likely make if it's possible, because I'm on a budget. So. I don't know, it's everything that I've had lined up. I don't have Discord notifications on while I'm streaming, so I will get to anything such as that. If you are attempting to message me, I will get to that after the stream is done, which I am thinking of ending in like half an hour, maybe. I went through my whole list of things to talk about. Did I? Oh no, wait, maybe. I brought it up earlier, but I don't think I did it when anybody was actually watching. I used to have a follower goal, but I removed it. That's another just like straight up housekeeping thing. I had a follower goal. I don't have one anymore. Oh, thank you, Kofabot. I found it stressful to sort of have it up. Not number one, my model is covering it where I had it before. Number two, it was stressful to sort of have that in the back of my mind, sort of trying to reach such a goal when that's not really something that I can control. And if I want to make sure that I'm doing this for fun and enjoying it, then I need to make sure that I'm not putting too much pressure on myself. I think the mic from my model is starting to die. It might be. I don't know. It should be fine for another hour. This is like a really cheap mic that I got exclusively so the model would work. And I wouldn't have any auditory issues because I did have some before. I don't know. Chat, is there something you guys want to talk about? We're just talking. Like, I'm not gonna start drawing at all. I might draw later, but that doesn't appear to be happening, so. I don't know if there's anything you want to ask me about or talk about. I can also talk about the last stream. How was your day today? It was pretty good. I didn't do much today. What did I do? I like took care of like household chores, I guess. And prep stuff for tomorrow. And like I coordinated some events. I prepped for this stream. I did that yesterday too. And I hung out with some friends. We were playing, we started off, we played a little bit of a game, but then we just ended up chatting about like our own characters and stories and stuff. I did some like voice acting while playing, which was fun. I say voice acting, I don't know if that's really what it's called. It doesn't feel like straight up voice acting, but I liked voicing characters as I play games. Practicing like the range that my voice can go. So, I think I have a Stardew stream backed up on the VODs channel that shows that a little bit. I might be wrong, they might all be drawing streams. But I know I did it when I was playing Stardew. But yeah, I had a good day. I hope everybody else had a good day. Anything interesting happen? Wait a moment. Okay, no, alright. That was just on my end. Okay, I got worried that like the stream buffered. I don't know, if anybody has any ideas for future streams, let me know. I don't know if I'll be able to stream next week. I have an idea, but yeah. Good night. I hope you have a good night. Take care. I don't know what I'll be doing for my next stream. I said I would be drawing. I will probably be working on a starting soon screen, or commissions, or one of the works in progresses that I've shown. We'll see what I end up doing. In the meantime, I don't really know what else to talk about, so I think I might end stream. Oh, there's two of me. Okay. Once again, the first hour of the VOD will show off W, yes. But yeah, once again, the first hour of the VOD is actually me going through the model and the steps that I took to make the model, from drawing to rigging, and me describing the sort of animation and techniques I used on techniques like filters. I don't know. I guess techniques works for how I made it move the way that it does. I will be working on another model at some point for somebody else. Ooh, suspense. So, we will see how that goes. I have to get the sketch done first, but I do want to work on it, and maybe you'll actually be able to watch the process that it takes for me to make another one. Before I go, I want to be a little silly, so excuse me for a moment while I... Ignore that. You didn't see that. You didn't see that. Yay! I hope that you join. That will be fun. I showed off some joke models that I made. Here's one of them. I call this the Pngtuber. Do you like my tuna fish form? Oh my gosh, it's too much fun making these models. The streamer turned into a fish! I did. I have one more. Why do I keep doing this? Okay. I have now become Karamatsu Matsuno from the hit show Osamatsu-san. Oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna be normal again. Say goodbye to Karamatsu. I say be normal as if I am quite literally not a vampire. Oh, I'm a little too tall. Actually, you know what? View me in all my glory as I say goodbye. And we find somebody to raid. If I can. Can I filter by, like, the people I actually care about? What is this? Okay. I know Lilith tried streaming earlier. It doesn't look like... No, mute that. It doesn't look like they're streaming anymore. It does look like Crystalite is still streaming, and that's somebody who I collabed with last stream. So we're going to go raid, potentially. You know, if anybody actually wants to go. You can say that I sent you. If anybody actually wants to go. I will not send a raid message, but there. Why am I getting so many ads? Everybody go say hi to Crystal if you decide to go. They are a very fun streamer. Raid now. How do am I doing this correctly? I don't know if I've never raided somebody before. Ah! Alright. Successfully raided. Goodbye!